So you think about in the 60s and 70s, it might have been paper flyers, to raise consciousness. Today, more of it happens online. I guess what I'm saying is that that one-to-one education that folks can do beyond contacting their elected official, but talking to their friends and loved ones about issues that they see as important and helping to educate why these issues matter. So, for example, like what you were saying earlier about why we should be concerned about what's happened in Palestine. Well, because the same policing tactics that are used on Palestinians to run apartheid, they're trading that information here with local police departments in Georgia and many other states in the country. So all of the masks are connected. Education is what makes the tide turn. And then also, once you have that education, talking to, the folks that who you do have access to, whether that be just your friends, your family, your coworkers, whoever, to educate them on what it is that and then coming together to make sure the elected officials know that you are not going to go away. You're there when it's time for them to get elected, and you'll be there once they are elected.
Absolutely. And you've talked to me about this before as well, just as I envision myself, more and more in the depths of this, the thing that you have said, the thing that Bruce Franks Jr. has said to me is that feel confident that you can stay exactly who you are, that you
Absolutely.
can be, but what happens sometimes is that, I don't mind facing the beast. I don't mind stepping into the arena. But when sometimes sometimes, and I guess that's why I always have to focus on, this sort of my own personal board of directors, sort of, which includes you, that I can soundboard off of very specific things. Because if I listen to all of the things out here in the voices, but it's not even the fact that I'm listening to the voices, I'm experiencing the real suppression, both from the algorithm and from capitalism.
Mhm.
I've had I've had Jewish politicians calling events that I was at, asking for me to be removed, not
Mhm.
knowing that I volunteered my time to be there, and they were just paying for my expenses because of
Mhm.
that's how much I cared about the cause I was at. And so, but I've
Mhm.
seen this network both attempt and also some successfully limit my reach. And what's been very interesting for me to, in a purposeful way, figure out, as is meant for me to figure out in my shoes. I just hear from so many different people who, you know, coming from celebrity culture, someone coming from acting in Hollywood, who'd be like, "Girl, won't you just, be be quiet and just, girl, do act and know this and know that or whatever." But one thing that a one of my trans sisters pulled me aside, Valerie Spencer, and she was like, "Listen, sweetie, I know that you want to advocate for Palestine and doing all the things that you're doing." She's like, "But also, you are letting Meta make you invisible to us, to the community that needs to see you, that wants to see you, that wants to hear from you, and all these different things." Now, obviously, there's a yin and yang to that in the sense that some of that is not seeing me because of competition and because of other things or whatever, and the rest of it is the algorithm removing me from the visibility, because there are some people going out of their way to stay connected to me and to the things that I'm doing and putting out there, and there are others who are fine with me being washed out of the algorithm. But either way, what I have to offer and contribute is important and should be visible.
Mhm.
And s- and so I've
Absolutely.
had to think about, I've got to navigate this differently because that's their shit.
Mhm.
They created that. And our
Mhm.
government is not even paying attention to the antitrust regulations we have in place to protect us from this type of behavior that is connected to my making money, where brands and things are looking at my metrics and wanting to connect to my 450,000 followers, but can't because Meta is actively suppressing my account.
Mhm.
So I've had to recognize the reality of that electronically, while
Mhm.
also figuring out a ways to create other accessible electronic means and in-person community and activation.